So who's ready for a little rough and tumbling good time but our good friends from CLAW?
Yeah, it's the Champaign Ladies.
Champaign Ladies Amateur Wrestling, also known as CLAW, is a local group. They put on entertaining WWF-style shows set to live rock music. It's pretty sick. They have a show coming up on the 28th, and they invited me to a practice to find out what they're all about. Here's wrestler and organizer Maddie Hall with some details about the event.
For all of your Halloween party needs, CLAW is here for you. We're going to have CLAWoween, which is going to be at the Canopy Club, October 28th. Doors open at 8 p.m. And the cool thing about this event is that proceeds that we get from it will be going to the Three Spinners.
Okay.
And so the Three Spinners is an amazing Central Illinois group that assists refugees, helps basically get them settled within the community via jobs, money, housing.
Okay.
And it's kind of just an all-around great platform that CLAW's really passionate about being inclusive and making sure that we're being proactive about helping people when we can.
Three Spinners knows about helping people. Let's find out more about them by listening to recordings from this phone interview.
My name's Alex van Doren. I'm one of the three co-founders of Three Spinners, and I've been involved with the organization since our founding in January of 2016. Essentially, we provide rescue and relief efforts for refugees and immigrant families in the community, as well as working with unaccompanied minors in Champaign-Urbana, and that includes our free store, which offers food, clothing, kitchen items, daily wares, sanitary items, things like that, completely free of charge to anyone in need in the community. We also provide educational services, ESL classes, resume and interview services, and we also provide housing and food, furniture, things like that for incoming families that are just getting set up in our community. Essentially, it's a non-discriminatory process. Our first priority is families with children, but anyone in the community in need is welcome to our services. However, most of them are sort of tailored towards refugee and immigrant individuals and families. So again, those that may not speak English, may not be familiar with the housing process in the U.S. So our services are geared towards that. But again, our store has been utilized by more people in the community than just refugees and immigrants.
The Three Spinners Community Resource Center is located in room K4 on the lower level of the University YMCA at 1001 South Wright Street in Champaign. Alex goes on to tell me about how her and the other two founders decided to start the organization.
One of the other spinners, Megan, and myself are both doctoral candidates in comparative literature at the university, and I specialize in Holocaust and genocide studies, so human rights issues have always sort of been at the forefront of my consciousness. And as I became more aware of what was going on in Syria in particular around 2015, I just felt this impetus to act, to do something. I couldn't sit idle anymore, so I put out a call to action, just sort of thinking of doing a widespread food and item drive or something like that. And Megan had reached out to me and said she was interested, so we met for coffee the next day. And what turned out is just an idea for some sort of drive. We decided to actually launch a full-fledged nonprofit. So we went home, did the paperwork. Her husband, Tim, who's the third spinner, did our website. And in a matter of weeks, we were registered with the IRS as a legitimate nonprofit. And, just went full steam ahead after that. As far as I'm concerned, this community has been incredibly welcoming, and there's just been open arms the entire time we've been operating, for the most part, I would say. There's been an incredible number of people and opportunities to help in the community. And, we started out with just a small booth at the farmers market on Saturdays when we first started. And I just can't tell you how many people came by our booth and just asked, how can I help? What can I do? As far as what I would suggest, or what I think we could improve upon, is just making these resources more available and more organized. A lot of times when refugees are resettled, they're sort of given, their basic needs for the first 90 days. And then, after that, they're kind of left to their own devices. So, offering services that can be utilized after the first 90 days, or at least having a sort of central location where they know they can go if they are in need of something. So that's sort of what the YMCA and Three Spinners and the other organizations that are involved in the New American Welcome Center are trying to do, is just sort of be the locus and the center of these resources so they can reach out if they need anything. There is a donation bin located outside our store in the basement of the YMCA if they would like to drop anything off. They're able to make monetary donations online at www.threespinners.org, and that's three spelled out, THRE. And as far as getting more involved with a physical presence, we always need people to help run our free store. It's, volunteer run. Anyone that would be willing to, take a weekly shift at the store, which would include welcoming, any of our clients that decide to come in, helping them find whatever they need, taking inventory, helping us keep the store nice and tidy and organized, just, basic things like that. We also hold a number of events in the community, as I'm sure you're aware after talking to CLAW, that they're very generously hosting an event for us. But we do, rallies. We've done other sorts of fundraisers where we always need volunteers to help run the show. We had a silent auction. We had a bunch of really wonderful volunteers show up for that, and we wouldn't have been able to hold that event without them. So on our website, there's a tab for volunteers, and you could just send us an email directly at contact@threespinners.org and just let us know you're interested and whatever's going on that particular season. We'd be more than happy to set you up with whatever event we're hosting, or help us transport goods, furniture, things like that into our store, help run the store. There's a number of things that you can definitely do. And people with language skills are also encouraged to reach out to us, as we are sometimes in need of translation services for languages that are less commonly spoken. And, anyone with professional skills that would be perhaps willing to host a workshop for families, that's always welcome as well. So anyone with ideas or skills to offer, we're always open to that.
So that was just an utter cornucopia of ways you can get involved with Three Spinners. Again, you can email them at contact@threespinners.com. Before our conversation ended, I wanted to ask Three Spinners co-founder Alex if she had anything else she would like to express to our listeners.
I just would want to encourage the community to remain open. I think that times are troubling right now, and the sort of rhetoric and narrative surrounding refugees and immigrants is inaccurate and unhelpful to our mission. And I think that Champaign-Urbana has done such a wonderful job of creating such a diverse and generous community, and I would hate to see that be altered in any way. So just to recognize the humanity in each other, embrace that, reach out, help in any way that you can, because every human being is deserving of the same rights and the same kind of help. So I think I would really encourage all the members of our community to sort of embrace that mindset and just continue to have open arms regardless of what's going on around us, because the storm will pass, and we have each other, and that's it.
So got to check out one of CLAW's practices and was introduced to some of the wrestlers.
So in my undergrad creative writing class, I wrote a story. In the story, her name was Mental Mod, but I decided that might be somewhat offensive, so I changed it to Mad Mod. But the story is from the point of view of some jerk neighborhood kids who like to pick on this crazy cat lady. So she's near and dear, and I brought her to life. Well, I'm Maud. They call me Mad Maud, but I don't know why. I'm perfectly sane. I just have a lot of cats.
My name's Punky. I'm Punky Bruiser, and I'm just really excited to be here. And it's Halloween, so I'm super excited to be eating a whole bunch of candy.
Can I ask how old you are?
Oh, I'm 8 years old.
You're 8 years old.
Yeah, I'm 8 years old.
Oh, hey, I'm Annie Chokley. I'm out here in the Midwest from out west, just hanging out with my Buffalo pals and letting everyone know about the importance of gun control.
Oh, you haven't heard of me?
I'm the IU Diva. I don't know what else you need to hear about me. If you haven't heard of me, I don't know if I can help you.
Oh, hi there. I'm just an announcer. My name's Eddie McKenzie. I came down from the Great White North. I just try to hang out with the ladies, try to learn a few moves. Learned a few wrestling moves. I've done a lot of sparring out there on the ice, but decided to come south down to the States and seek the fame and fortune with the wrestling. This crew's really got going here. It's quite a game, let me tell you.
Hey, I'm Whammy Faye Baker. I'm not so new to this whole wrestling thing, but I got a lot of grudges to fulfill at this point. I gotta tell you.
We got a nice one-on-one sesh with Maddie, aka the Dewey Decimator, to learn a little more about her character and get the facts on this weekend's event one more time.
You know, the Dewey Decimator is she's basically a anal retentive, vengeful, evil librarian.
Sure.
She hates anything that's out of order. Books matter above everything else, and she actually is kind of irrational.
Okay.
And doesn't really make sense all the time, because although she loves to shush the audience when they're being loud at her, she tends to yell extremely loud on stage and gets exceedingly violent if she doesn't get her own way. So this is CLAWoween. Champaign Ladies Amateur Wrestling is putting on a benefit show for the 3 spinners at the Canopy Club on October 28th. Doors open at 8 p.m. And then you're going to get this amazing opener, We the Animals. So it's this great Champaign-Urbana band. They're going to start us off, set the tone. It's going to be awesome. And then Claw's going to go on. We're going to have 3 acts. Who knows what they're going to be. They're probably going to be crazy, violent, lots of cat throwing. And then we're going to have an intermission, which is when we're going to have our costume contest. And I'm going to just plug Claw in wherever I can. So the costume contest, we're going to have 3 categories. One is, you mentioned earlier, the punniest costume. The second one is basically best overall costume. And then the third one, which I think is the coolest one, dressing up like your favorite claw wrestler or wrestler in general.
Okay.
So you can be Punky Bruiser, you could be Hulk Hogan. It's all going to be kind of combined together, and each category, each person who wins is going to get not only a really great trophy, but also some free claw merchandise.
Sick.
I know, and we're going to have new t-shirts, tons of beer koozies, we're getting lots of new merch for this show. And we're going to have some really great performances from We the Animals and DJ Maggie Morrow. So end your night with a dance party.